Welcome to Gaming with Archie. Today we're playing Kickle Cubicle. It's a classic puzzler from the NES days. It got a 4 out of 5 back in the day. I loved it growing up, but I still enjoy it now. This video is part 1 of Garden Land, which is the first land in the game. In most cases, I show you the most optimized ways to complete each level, and we'll get started here. I will have a summary for the full game down below in the description. I will also have the starting times of each stage. The goal of each level is to collect 3 dream bag that contains the residents of the kingdom. These blue guys are noggles, and the red little egg shapes are, as you can see, their spawn point. Almost all enemies will spawn from there if they didn't start on the stage already. There are also these ice cream cones, which give you some bonus points. If you hit them with the ice block, you actually get a point multiplier, as you can see. This pink guy here, you cannot turn him into a block, but you can crush him. And at the end of each stage, there's corn. Actually, it's not always corn, but as you can see, they kind of give you a gist of the story, what's happening, what you're doing, where you are, blah 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 blah. This guy's an old man, it looks like. And level 3 here of Garden Land. We got tons of ice cream this time, and these P blocks down here, they'll instantly freeze any enemies on the screen. Very useful when there's just too many to deal with at once, or you happen to see several enemies in the best spot possible at one time, and you don't want to have to go in and try to catch them where they should be. Again, we're trying to get as many points as possible by hitting the ice cream with the blocks. Normally you'd only get the 3,200 points. We can use these ice pillars here to help block our cubes from going any further. It's essential, and if you don't use it, you won't be able to beat the game. Enemies will go around them as if they're walls. It'll help you not get killed, I'll tell you that. By the way, the dream bags, if you ever hit them with ice, they'll just pop out of the way. That's also useful in some stages when they're inaccessible. Here, we're just using the ice pillars to move the blocks in a more advantageous way in order to get the most points. There's no limit on how many enemies spawn, but as you can see, they'll only keep a couple enemies at a time, depending on the level. And what starts is what the max is, but sometimes there'll be more. Here we have our ice cream again. We'll need to make a lot more ice blocks in order to reach these dream bags. Most of the time, patience is key. Lining up the enemy at the right spot, creating the pillars, even sometimes getting 2 ice cubes in a row like that saves you time in the long run. You can even use them, as you saw there, to ricochet and stop them at certain points. So we just gotta get this last one. Here we are. Now you will notice at the top right, we have starting with 2 lives. In World 5 here we have springs. They can be incredibly deadly, however, they are incredibly useful You cannot beat most stages that have springs without them. They are there for a reason. But if you're not paying attention, you will get squashed by your own ice block. As you saw, there was a 1-up. You'll see by now each stage has kind of a fun shape. This one's an umbrella. Some of them are toy shaped, some are fruits or vegetables. This yellow chicken guy there, the glasses, is named Max apparently. He can kick blocks as well, which is incredibly dangerous because he can kick them right at you and kill you. You can't turn him to a block, as you see. You can just crush him, just like the pink guy from one of the first levels. Basically, when they get in your way, freezing and crunching them is the key. So here we have a new enemy, Rocky. He looks like a raccoon. You can turn him into ice, but when you try to kick him, he turns back into his original form. And he can pretty much attack you right away. So your best bet is to either crush him using an ice cube and a pillar, or just kind of freeze him and leave him alone, because you just can't really kill him easily. The pink flooring at the top, you can't place pillars on it. That can present a challenge in some stages. Even though the pink prevents you from doing pillars, you can find ways around it. So this stage, almost all of it is pink. And you have to really just make a lot of ice cubes with those noggles. It does take a little longer, unfortunately, and careful timing. However, there's no other way to beat it. As you see, this stage only allows 2 noggles at a time. But you can crush blocks to make them respawn. See, I've kept 1 over there so that I only have to manage 1 enemy at a time. Get more points. Alright. You're on stage 9. Looks like a skull. Kinda creepy. But as you see, we got Max here chucking ice cubes with his feet. So believe it or not, it's actually very useful that Max the chicken, with sunglasses, can kick ice cubes at you, because it's essential for getting these island puzzles solved. Timing the freezing of the noggle just right so that Max kicks it creates a little bridge for you. Gotta be careful though, because Max is aggressive, and if you don't crush him, he could just as easily kill you, or kick a well-planned cube out of your way. Sometimes you can trick him into doing it for you. Stage 10 of Garden Land introduces Spiny. These little guys are kind of a pain. When you shoot ice block, it crushes them. However, they won't destroy them if they just kind of roll around them. They only get destroyed if you kick, slide, or spring them into Spiny. There's a lot of times where you're going to want to trap Spinies with pillars. It just depends on the level. Thankfully, they don't spawn. However, you can't kill them, so whenever they're on the stage, that's as many as there's going to be. And that was part 1 of Garden Land. Stay tuned for the next video, where I show you the next levels, including the boss battle.